Good afternoon. It's Dan Austin, and today's show is being dedicated to my dear friend and former partner.
Fort Wayne's K105, today's best country. All your familiar favorites, BJ Stone.
Yes, BJ Stone, or Beej, as we all called her, passed away recently from cancer, but her memory, will always live on in my heart and many of yours. It is my intention today to honor her in a way she would have absolutely loved, with memories, people that were important in her life, and some of her favorite music. Now, if you remember BJ, some of the things you hear today will bring back great memories.
Exceptional.
Extraordinary.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding.
It's the K105 High Five of the Day.
The only possible high five I can give today is for the person this show is for, the late BJ Stone, the countless charities that she helped and was part of over all the years, all the smiles, the laughs, the support she gave. She'll never be forgotten. And a high five to all of you for all the comments and sentiments that you've been sharing over the past 24 hours by calling into the studio or posting and messaging on social media. We appreciate everything. And Josh, that includes you. What did you want to say?
I listened to you guys when I was growing up, going to school. Like before I go to school, I listened to you guys. Are like the first morning show I ever listened to on the radio.
Oh, man, I appreciate
crazy to hear.
saying
Like
that.
I hear you on the radio all the time, and I always wonder what happened to her. And to hear that today, like that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does suck, man, and cancer sucks, but the BJ's memory will always live on, and we'll always make sure of that. But thank you so much for calling in, bud.
Appreciate everything you do, man.
Well, thank you so much for listening. And Mara, I know that you were very close with BJ too. What did you want to share about her?
She always liked my earrings, and I would always get earrings for her.
Yeah, she did. She loved her jewelry. But a big high five of the day for BJ Stone.
Everybody, hello in Fort Wayne. I miss everybody.
Beej, we miss you too. And Dude Walker is going to join the show around 2:40 to remember you, our wonderful friend. BJ absolutely loved Randy Travis, so I think it's appropriate for the first throwback today to be his signature song, Forever and Ever, Amen. Now, one thing about this tune that I'll always remember is that BJ would always tell me, don't talk over the ding. The very end of the song, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And once we were here in the studio and she heard that ding, she would give me a nod, signifying it was okay for me to talk. Joining me here this afternoon is a guy I worked with for 20 years. Dude Walker is back. And, man, I wish I was having you on for something celebratory. Like last year, we were talking about my 25th, and this year we're talking about the passing of somebody we both worked with for a very long time, BJ Stone.
Yeah, when you first called me on this, I was shocked. I mean, we talked to Beej every once in a great moon. I did maybe once a year. I get a text at Christmas time, and I'd maybe talk to Beej a couple times throughout the year, but it seemed like fewer and fewer over the last couple of years. And then you told me the news, and I just couldn't believe it. And then we were talking back and forth over the last few days about this, and you were talking about pictures. Did we have pictures of Beej? And I found quite a few just looking through things. And then you and I start talking about it, and it's all these memories that come back up again and go, wow. But, it was so long ago, but it seems like it wasn't that long ago. It seemed like it was yesterday. But, all the memories, all the laughs, all the jokes we did, all the different conversations, and even seeing each other with our families, too. It's amazing how the years flow.
One thing we always used to have her and rely on her for was people's names and, writing people's names down and saying hi to them on the air and all that other stuff. She was the best at that. And she would, people come up to her that would meet her, and she'd write their name down and say, hey, I'm going to say hi to you on the air. And that's how she just remembered all that stuff.
She had a pad of paper with her all the time, and she did it. When she said she was going to say hi to somebody, she made sure she did it. She was great at names, like you'd mentioned. That's one thing I wish I could have got from Beej was being able to recall names. I'm great at remembering people's faces, but names, Beej could do it every time, no matter what. She knew everybody.
Yeah, she did, and she loved everybody. She loved kids. She would always try to make a point of putting a smile on a kid's face, and
you start looking back and you start laughing or smiling because that's what Beej did. She was good with the community. She was good with people. And she could always get a smile out of you, too.
Before I came to town, and I had the chance to work with BJ, the real Scott Miller was her partner on K105 for almost 4 years and wanted to share his memories.
Hey, it's the real Scott Miller, and I'm so sorry to hear about my beloved morning show partner, BJ Stone. We had some fantastic times together, and always a lot of fun. And I'm not going to tell you some of the things that we got into because some of it's pretty funny, but I don't want the memory of BJ to be besmirched because she was a great morning show partner. And here's the thing. The listeners love BJ when they met her on appearances, and she was just great on the air, just overall fantastic. And we were very, very good friends, both on and off the air. I talked to BJ several times on the phone. We exchanged emails, Christmas cards, that kind of stuff. But over the last few years, we just kind of drifted apart. And when I heard about BJ's passing, I felt horrible because I really enjoyed her, and I wish I would have had more time with her. But anyway, it was a great memory, and I'm never going to forget Real and BJ.
Thanks, Scott. Good afternoon. It's Dan, and we're remembering BJ Stone on my show today, who recently passed away from cancer. It was just last year that she was back on K105 with me to celebrate my 25-year anniversary, of which she was part of for 9 years. And one of the things she brought up was one of our funniest memories, that of the Cash Cow Cadillac.
And then, of course, the Cash Cow Caddy, I looked like I had stuck my phone into a light socket by the time we got there. That was hilarious.
Yeah, so we're going to a parade in Columbia City, and we have this vehicle that they made up to make it look like a cow, and it was a Cadillac with the horns on the front, and we're driving.
Right.
And the thing had no AC in it at all, and it was just like all you felt was the engine heat coming out from underneath the dash. So
yeah,
having to lower the windows, and it was a convertible, so we lowered that. And I just remember you sitting in the back seat. And by the time we got there, it was your hair was everywhere.
You're telling me. And I had gone and had my hair done that morning, ready for the parade, and I tell you, it was a waste of money for one thing. And oh my gosh, you were definitely the prankster.
And I wasn't even trying to be a prankster that day. I was just trying to keep us all cool. At 21 Alive's Linda Jackson also has many special memories of BJ as well.
BJ Stone, she was so beautiful inside and out. I remember being a very young reporter 3 decades ago or so, and she would reach out to me, tell me I'm doing a good job. We'd see each other at a few social events from time to time, and I never saw her without a smile on her face. The community loved her, and there was such a good reason why, because she was good, a sweet, sweet woman, and she's going to be missed. I will always remember how kind she was.
Before I get to another one of BJ's favorite throwback tunes on my tribute to her, I wanted to share 3 of the things that I always remember her saying. All right? She would say these all the time without batting an eye. All right? Number 3, you're like a bad refrigerator. You can't keep nothing. It was her way of telling you couldn't keep a secret. The second thing she used to say all the time was, don't treat me like beer when I'm champagne. I used to love that. And the number one thing that BJ used to say all the time, don't get your honey where you get your money. I can remember her saying those things like it was yesterday. Joining me is a guy who was pretty new in town, I guess, at the time when BJ was here. Mike Nutter, general manager of the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. They were the Wizards when BJ was here. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks so much. I was so sad to hear this and had many great memories. She was always a true pro and nothing but the best. So it's an honor to really be able to be part of this tribute that you're doing. I appreciate it.
BJ wasn't the biggest sports fanatic, but I think once I got her, we started to sway her that way, and she loved coming out to the old Memorial Stadium and catching a Wizards game. And you brought up something. There was a specific player, and I forgot all about this until you brought it up, that she kind of had an eye on.
Yeah, there's no question about it. One of the best-looking guys I've ever worked with. And, he was at a catcher of ours that had major league ability defensively the day he was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, a young guy named Andres Pagan, really, really nice kid. And she would always jokingly, of course, is Andres going to be there if we come out for a game? It'd be like years later. And it's like, no, he's up in AA or AAA. And it became a running joke, and it was a lot of fun. And and you guys embraced the Wizards, and it was a mutual thing where that's where you and I and her and others became friends over the years, so there's a lot of great memories.
There are, and it's so fitting that next week you guys are doing a throwback night, bringing back some Fort Wayne Wizards uniforms and other paraphernalia. Tell us about it.
July 21st, so Friday night, we are going to play that night as the Fort Wayne Wizards. We're going to do a Wayne the Wizard bobblehead if people get a certain package to do that. There's rumors that we might see Wayne and or his old buddy Dinger the Dragon come out here.
I love
so
it.
I just thought, as a small tribute to our good friend that we're on here talking about today, why don't we go ahead and give away a 4-pack of those tickets and one of the Wayne the Wizard bobbleheads.
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
A small token in her honor. It's something that we'd love to do, and if you're good with that, Dan, I'd love to do something like that and get somebody a winner.
Absolutely. And I remember, Beej, whenever the old jingle used to come on, Fort Wayne Wizards, Amazing Baseball. You remember that jingle, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And she would always do the Amazing Baseball. I remember that like it was yesterday. So that's very kind of you to do that. And do you remember what Pagan's number was by any chance?
35 comes to mind.
Okay, well, I'm not going to take caller number 35 right now because to a radio personality,
Did I say 35? I meant 7.
No, I was going to say, let's add 3 and 5 together. We'll take caller number 8 for that prize package in honor of the late B.J. Stone. Man, thanks for being a part of this tribute. She would absolutely love this.
Thanks, my friend.
Stan Austin, we lost B.J. recently from the dreaded C word. I hope we're doing her proud by remembering a lot of these moments and special memories over the years, some special guests that are going to be joining us throughout the afternoon. And congratulations to Fort Wayne Tin Cap / Fort Wayne Wizards winner Chet Kittle. Going to be going to celebrate the life of BJ with 4 tickets. She loved the Wizards and a Dinger bobblehead for their game coming up a week from this Friday. Actually, a Wayne the Wizard bobblehead, excuse me. So BJ not only loved the Wizards, but she loved all kids and always had a special connection with them, including this little girl who she nicknamed Smootsy.
Is BJ still there?
She's right here.
Hi, Smootsy.
Hi, BJ.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Oh, I'm just singing for the talent show.
Singing for the talent show?
Yeah, there's going to be a talent show at my school.
If you're just joining us, you didn't hear the news, BJ Stone was my partner for 9 years. She was here at K105, one of the original DJs in 1993 when K105 went on the air 30 years ago. She passed away recently from lymphoma, and BJ did a contest each and every morning on our show called JFK, Just for Kids, where kids would call in and answer trivia questions for prizes. And Dude Walker is back with me for another hilarious memory. There's one kid's name, and you'll remember this story, that always stands out. We had a little boy call in, and he won Just for Kids. And She said, "What's your name?" And he said his name was John Schifferly. I don't know if you remember this story or not.
I do remember this, yes.
And she said, "What did you say your name was?" Tiffany. And it just hit so funny with both of us. Well, that same child is with us right now to remember B.J. Stone. John, thanks for coming on here this afternoon. And how old were you at that time when you were playing Just for Kids?
Probably around 10 years old.
And you remember that to this day?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me and my mom, we listened about every morning to you guys and always liked to hear you and BJ talk, and that was just kind of our morning routine every morning. We just listened to you guys while we got ready and went about our day.
I'm sure BJ would get a good chuckle right now if she knew that, you at almost 34 years old were recalling that special memory as well.
Absolutely. She was always a wonderful lady.
Well, hey, man, thanks for being a part of the tribute, and I won't call you Tiffany. We'll just let that stick as something Beej did, okay?
All righty.
Exceptional.
Extraordinary.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding.
It's the K105 High Five of the Day.
Like I said before, the only possible high five today is for the person this show is for, the late B.J. Stone, for the countless charities she helped and was part of over the years, and for all the smiles and laughs and support she gave through all the years will never be forgotten. And a high five to all of you for all your comments and your sentiments and your sharing over the past 24 hours, your phone calls, and thank you so much. And if you'd like to do something in honor of BJ, if you can find it in your heart to donate to St. Jude in her name, there's a link on K105's Facebook page on our tribute to BJ. And if I can get through this, I'm going to try to get through this, but I'm just going to kind of grab just a snippet of what Ashley wrote. Ashley, who was a little girl that we affectionately knew as Smootsy when she was just a little girl, posted something on our Facebook page and how she talked about BJ, and she took a special loving to me. They all did, which I'm forever grateful for. To have a positive adult female in my life at such a young age really shaped me into the woman I am today. She would make sure I knew I was loved, I was smart, I could do anything I set my mind to. And to a third grader, that was amazing. For her time to take out of her day to give a little 8-year-old just a moment on the radio and say, "Hi, I brushed my teeth," really shows the kind of person she was. And if you get a chance to check out that post, I would read the whole thing, but I don't think I can make it through it. Ashley, thank you so much for that. You know, another one of BJ's strengths, in addition to remembering everybody's name, was her punctuality. I mean, she was always early. She was never late for anything. But there was one time she thought she was late. Dude Walker is back to remember this one.
The only time that was questioned was, if you remember correctly, she called you one late evening and was calling you to tell you she was late for work. She thought it was the next morning. Do you remember this?
That actually wasn't me. That was our afternoon jock at the time. She called.
Is that what it was?
She called the
Okay.
radio station. She was calling in here thinking that she was calling us and saying, "Why didn't you wake me up?" Blah, 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 blah. And here it was the opposite end of the day. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon. And, you know, the guy that's working at the time was like, it's PM, right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon. It's Dan, and our BJ Stone tribute continues here on K105. And as I said before, Beej had the ability to laugh at herself, which was definitely another one of her strong points.
Dallas is back at South Fork. The cast of 80s nighttime soap Dallas are getting together for a reunion at South Fork November 7th on CBS. Larry Hagman, known as JR, Linda Gray, Sue Ellen, Patrick Ewing. Yes? Who did he play? Mama! And Victoria Principal.
Wait, did you say Patrick Ewing?
It's
Patrick Duffy.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was not on Dallas.
Ewing. What was his name?
It'd be more like this. Hey, Bobby. I'm going to shoot a free throw for you.
Duffy. I don't know where I got the Ewing.
Patrick Ewing. You know what? Jack had a lot of kids. Maybe he was just one of them.
Great times with that lady for sure. BJ Stone was a fixture in this town for a very long time, which is also true for this next person. You can't go anywhere in Fort Wayne without hearing the name Tony Richards, who was part of Those Two Guys in the Morning with the late Charlie Butcher on WMEE for years. So here are Tony's memories of BJ.
The thing I remember about BJ was how she interacted with her listeners. Now, she was always available to do anything, any outside promotions, concerts, live broadcasts. It didn't really matter. She was always in and always up for it. She always had a smile on her face. But what I really remember is the interaction she had with the audience. What mattered to her was one-on-one time with each listener that listened to her every day. And that was something special, and not a lot of air personalities have that, but BJ Stone did. She was a wonderful human being, and we're going to miss her.
Very well said, TR. And one thing BJ did not find wonderful was being the butt of a joke, and that is pun intended. And we found that out one morning the hard way. She joined me last year on my show to bring that up.
I just wasn't used to that. A prank? You know what? No, we're serious. We're loyal and dedicated, and we're supposed to be serious about what we're doing. And here comes this note, happy birthday. And I'm in the middle of it, so I just take it and I get to it, and I say, and happy birthday to Seymour Bud.
I just remember that you and Dude were out on location somewhere, and I was in the studio, and all I heard was the microphone drop.
Yep. All I could do was put the microphone down and walk away. I have never been so friggin' furious in my whole entire life.
She took it like a champ, though. She was awesome. And if you thought that was bad, Dude Walker and I will reflect on the time that he tried to get BJ to swear, and let's just say it took some work. Dude and I have been reflecting on different things throughout the show, and back with me now to tell the story of how he finally got BJ to swear. Now, for those that don't know, Dude liked to get under people's skin, and this is one of the best examples of it. And there was one time where Beej was trying to tell a story to us, and you kept over and over interrupting her. And she was getting so upset, and I'll let you take it from there.
Well, I kept doing it on purpose because I wanted her to cuss. The whole time I knew Beej, I think maybe one time I heard her swear.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a king daddy by any means. But I remember that one day, and I kept trying to get at her and try to get at her. That was my goal, was to get her to cuss at me and get upset. And it took a lot. But this went on and on and on. I kept talking over her. I remember this like it was yesterday. And this thing went on for what, hours?
Oh,
that morning?
It was unbelievably long. Yes.
and then she couldn't take it anymore. She snapped at me like a twig and just belligerently went after me. You love it. I wish I could say the words, but not on the air, obviously. But that was something, probably one of the most memorable and probably memories we both have had of Beej, because that was so out of character. She never cussed at all.
We're paying tribute to B.J. Stone, who recently passed away from cancer, and just trying to, do a show that, Beej would love, and she loved the listeners. She loved to work here at K105, and just trying to bring some of those special memories to you. If you remember BJ, these are just memories that are probably creeping back up on you. If you didn't get a chance to listen to BJ, maybe you're too young or you just heard stories, I hope that you're able to kind of see the person and hear the person that she was. And we had a feature on our show every morning, and it was called The Impossible Question, which was a fixture for years. Now, I would ask a question, and then BJ would take a guess at what it was. And let's just say the guesses weren't really always that great.
Impossible question. All right. In 1998, a mere 6 years ago, only 48% of men did this for themselves. Last year, it increased to 70%. What is it?
Cut their hair.
I often sit in a chair and whip out the scissors and just go, that looks good.
I would give anything to hear another one of those bad guesses here today. If you have a special memory, I'd love to hear it. And Renee, you said you have a memory of BJ in the Three Rivers Parade, huh?
Whenever you guys would come down the street and my mom would see BJ, my mom would always call for her, and BJ would run over to my mom and give her a great big hug every year you guys were in the parade.
That's how Beej was. She was a hugger.
And I was telling my friend earlier, I said, now my mom is gone. She passed away in 2018. And I said, now BJ's gone. I said, I could just see my mom when BJ is up in heaven and walks through those pearly gates, and my mom is right there seeing her and runs over to her and gives her a great big hug.
No, you know it. Renee, thanks for sharing that. Now, Fred, your memory is not quite as sentimental. What is it?
I have met and partied with BJ.
You partied with her?
Yes, my mom had a party one night, which I've told you before. My mom was a DJ at W2HK.
Yeah, that's right.
And BJ was there. Do you remember Charlie Butcher?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Charlie was there, Steve Shine. It was a good time, and BJ Stone was a class act.
My last throwback on this special tribute to BJ Stone today is from an artist that she always called Reba, because Beej loved to roll her R's on her name all the time, and it's a song called Fancy, and Dude Walker describes just how fancy BJ was.
And I always remember Beej. God bless her. She didn't go anywhere without having big earrings, and lots of bracelets. You could hear her going down the hallway.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, she did like her jewelry, that is for sure.
And she used to drive that red Jeep of hers. She loved that thing.
Oh my gosh. Wow. See, that's the thing, just talking about these things, you remember these little tidbits, and I'm sure after we're done with this conversation, we're going to think of 10, 15 more things that she used to do.
Absolutely.
Celebrating the life of a special lady on my show today.
Fort Wayne's K105 today's Best Country, all your familiar favorites, BJ Stone.
Yes, BJ Stone, and I've got one more of her favorite songs on this Throwback Thursday, which will be described by none other than Dude Walker, coming up right around 6:25 after Jelly Rolls need a favor. But first, Kristen, you had a memory of Beej you wanted to share?
When my twin sister and I were graduating from high school, Mom wrote in a letter to you guys.
and she requested Keeper of the Stars, saying how much that meant to her, saying it was no accident that God gave us to her.
Aw.
And BJ read the letter on air and just made us cry. Of course, it was the day of graduation.
Thanks for sharing that, Kristen. Appreciate the call. A lot of special memories come flooding in. I mean, if you go to the K105 Facebook page, please feel free to leave comments on there. Any pictures, any special memories you have, I'd love to have them. And Faye, you've got one.
She went over to Hoagland School, and you had a program that you would read a book to the kids at school.
Uh-huh.
And she was holding the kid on her lap, and she couldn't turn the pages, so I just stooped down and turned the pages for her, held the book and turned them.
Yeah.
But before we went in, she had to sneak around behind the car and take a couple puffs of cigarette before she could go in. And I gave her a mint, a Tic Tac. She was a good girl, I tell you. I enjoyed you guys so much.
Faye, thanks so much for the call. It means a lot. The show has just flown by today. Just a lot of memories of BJ Stone, who we lost recently from cancer, but her memory will live on. And, you know, over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten to know BJ's daughter fairly well and wanted to make sure that she was definitely part of this show here today. And Missy joins the program, and I know that you had some things that you wanted to tell everybody. Go ahead.
Just want to thank all her listeners for loving her and caring for her the way they did. She spoke a lot about her listeners. She loved her job, and what she did well. My mom was a very loving person, as you guys may know already. And I just want to thank you all for giving her the great support that you guys gave her while she was up in Indiana. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, your mom, she was well loved here in Fort Wayne and surrounding areas. And you know, I've said this before in our previous conversations that it's astounding how much when I hear you speak, I hear your mom, and it's that's the biggest compliment I can give you, because she had an unmistakable voice. So you got a lot of BJ in you, that is for sure.
Thank you, and I get that a lot. I mean, like I tell everybody, she gave me the right tools, and I really appreciate her for being as hard as she was on me, you know, growing up as a kid and making me the adult that I am today. It's all because of her, you know. She was a great mom. She will be truly, 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 truly missed. She's missed every day. I miss her so much. I really do.
And Missy, I understand that in your mom's purse, you found something that she held very special because she still carried it around until the very end. Can you tell everybody what that was?
Yes, sir. Actually, it was her K105 badge with staff on there, with her picture on there. Actually, it was in what she called her hospital bag. If she had to go to the hospital, she had that badge in there. I felt, was feeling around in her bag, and there was that badge. She also has the little business cards that are, spread it all around. They were all over her desk, where computer, where she really loved her radio station. She really did. I mean, it's like she was married to the station, I guess, or she probably loved it more than she loved me.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But,
I don't. Yeah.
But she really loved, like I said before, she really loved, what she did. I mean, she did it all her life. And as for my mom, I can say my mom was good at what she did. And I really, really looked up to her for what she did in the media.
She was wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing your mom with us over the years, because we will not forget it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for caring and loving her. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
I hope you have sincerely enjoyed our celebration of BJ Stone's life here today, and just a small glimpse into what she meant to everybody that listened to her. However you came across BJ, she loved you, and she loved to put smiles on your faces. If you missed any of today's show, the entire thing will be up on my podcast, Doses of Dan, here momentarily. So you can listen anytime. If you missed any of it, if you just want to hear it again, it will all be there for you. And I thought the only fitting way to end the show today was with BJ herself.
Everybody, hello in Fort Wayne. I miss everybody.
And we will always miss you, BJ.
Podcasts by Federated Media.